the question we need to ask ourselves now is, what are we going to do tomorrow? We are in a pretty good place right now because we just showed up at our base camp. We have all night tonight to relax and just get set up and situated here. And then we have all day tomorrow to do whatever we want to do out here in the Dolly Sods. And then we have tomorrow night, and then we leave the next day. So we really have from sun up till sundown here in the Dolly Sods tomorrow, free to do whatever we want. We can go for an epic day hike to a cool overlook. We can go for a shorter day hike. We go on multiple ones. We could just sit around camp and be lazy all day tomorrow. I mean, this is our vacation. Just got some creek water. It looks a little tinted, but I think it'll be good.
Horse teeth. Give him a trick. I should have some way to like hang this guy up in a tree.
Yeah, and just let gravity do its thing. Slow wait for filtered water. You almost have a full Nalgene.
Yeah, that's like a big Nalgene too, so it's pretty nice.
I'm going to try and get a fire started here with just this char cloth that I brought with me, and I shredded up some fat wood and I threw a cotton ball in there for good measure. Why not? And I have my Pathfinder Ferrocerium rod. As I always say, this thing is so awesome. There's a reason it's so big. Look at that. I didn't even really need the... Oh.
So good.
Look, it's still going.
That cotton's some good stuff.
I didn't even really need that char cloth in there. The fat wood actually just caught it. I was starting this fire so that I could heat up some water because I'm going to do a little laundry down by the creek. I don't even need to boil this water, I just need to get it warm. What kind of hammock do you have, Dave?
You know?
It's pretty nice. You like it?
Yeah. It's very lightweight. You know what's surprising about it? That when it rained, it like dried out so quick the one day.
Really?
Yeah, it was like...
Are you going to set up your tarp and your ridge line this time?
I don't think so. It's not supposed to rain, right?
I don't think so.
Although I've never set up my new tarp, hammock tarp yet. It's a new piece of equipment, but...
Are these Eno hangers you have for it too?
No.
Oh, I thought they were. Like the Atlas straps?
They're,
I thought Eno made them.
NHO?
NHO? I've got some dirty clothes here from today and yesterday that I think I'm going to wash here at the creek. I'm going to try and do this as environmentally friendly as possible. I have some biodegradable camp suds right here, and I just heated up this pot of water over the fire. So I have just one of these cheap dry sacks. I'm going to pour this warm water in here. See how watertight it is. Appears to be watertight. And then I'm going to put a little camp suds in. I'm going to agitate. And I don't want to get this soapy dishwater into the creek. Even though that camp soap is biodegradable, you still shouldn't put it in straight in the creek. So, I'm going to dump this water over here in the bushes into the soil where it can biodegrade properly. And now we're going to repeat the rinse process a couple times over. but because I didn't use a lot of soap, shouldn't take much more to rinse these. I'm gonna get one more good rinse in. Now to get a clothesline hung. And then hang it up to dry. Tried to hang this line in the sunlight so we can capitalize on a little bit of that afternoon sun. Help to dry this stuff. And then the dry sack, we just turn it inside out and let it dry too. Just like that. Let's see what this water feels like. Ooh, definitely cold. No doubt about that. Yeah, I don't know. There seems to be some sort of bizarre wildlife just down there. I don't know if it's really suitable for a full immersion, but
Full immersion.
I want to immerse myself in the Dolly Sods. I got tree sap on my hand.
The water make pretty cocktail.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. That's cold, man.
Really cold. Ah, but it feels good though.
A little cool. Maybe when I was like right off the trail, super hot.
It's not quite hot enough to be in this water right now, and it's not quite deep enough to fully like jump in. But I'm gonna like splash some on my face again.
Legs got clean.
That is very refreshing. This is living, guys. You mind giving me a hand, Andy? Thanks, bud. Okay, back on the trail. Not quite on the trail, on the creek. I must admit, these cheapo Walmart sandals that I got are working great. So I actually have a really nice pair of Keen water shoes, but they're really heavy. They're great for walking in a creek like this, but they're way too heavy for backpacking. So that's why I got these cheap ones. They're super lightweight, and they work really well. I'm gonna go up here to the end of this creek a little bit, see if I can get some really nice afternoon light shots for you guys.
You get a trout. You can stuff it with the rice and whatever else that's going on.
Doing a little creek stomping in the afternoon. It's like a real life video game. This is a pretty cool level, actually. I'm trying my best to just share this moment with you guys. Good friends, good weather, good camping. We're gonna have a good time here tonight. Now I'm going to set up my hammock at our new base camp, but maybe we can speed up this process a little bit through movie magic. Feels pretty good. Good piece of kit. Another really great piece of kit is the Sven saw. My only complaint about this thing is that you have to basically do a construction project just to use it. Got to take off this wing nut, which you could easily lose that in the process. And then you got to pull this out, take the blade out, flip it around. This has to go in here like this. And it needs to be loose enough so that I can get this into here. It's kind of a trick doing this. You almost have to get them both in at the same time. Like that. And then put this wing nut back on. But once you're done with your construction project, you have yourself a pretty killer bow saw. Way better than a Baco Laplander. Sorry about that, Baco. Good saw, but this is way better. We're having a little bit of trouble finding a bunch of little dead stuff on the ground, so we were looking for a piece of dead standing. You can clearly see there's no limbs with leaves up top. These little twigs snap like twigs. They must be dry, they must be dead. We're going to cut this guy down. We're going to try and actually drop him that way. So I'm going to cut from this angle. Timber! We could probably cut this stump down here too. Ooh, you can hear that. You know that is dry and dead. That sounds good. Cut one more. Okay. And then, see if we can baton some of this stuff. We'll try and baton this and see what happens.
Oh, that's beauty.
It's definitely some solid stuff, no doubt. Cotton ball. This will get us going for sure. Oh, it's scented too.
Right away.
Right away. Sometimes you got to give up a little bit. But that's okay. Funny, most of this other stuff isn't even really catching that well, but that birch bark is going like gangbusters. You can see there still must be little pieces of ferrocerium in there because it's like sparking. Just give that a minute. While I'm waiting for my water to boil, I'm going to carve me some chopsticks. That looks pretty straight. Straight enough. Is one of our pots boiling over there, Andy? I hear some noise happening. These neighbors are really bothering me, gotta be honest.
Yeah, both sides.
We got a big family, it sounds like, over there, and a big family over here, and we are in the crossfire of a bunch of screaming kids, which is not really what you want when you're trying to have a peaceful evening enjoying the outdoors. So I apologize if you hear any crazy yelling and hollering in the background of these videos. It's not too bad. I mean, no matter what, they're not going to be super straight. But these are not meant to be very perfect. They are more functional than anything. See that little hole there? Try and get rid of that. See what I can do with this one. Got to be careful to make sure I'm making all these strokes away from my body. Don't want to mess around with big survival knives when you're out in the woods. Take it seriously. This is not the time to get seriously cut. You want to get all that bark off of there because bark can harbor bacteria and just it's kind of an absorbent outer layer that you don't want to have on something that you're using for food. Chopsticks are one of the best tools to use for eating when you're camping, because if you master using chopsticks, another utensil is always easily available. Smooth this out a little bit. Definitely not perfect, but definitely will work. They're definitely rough bushcraft chopsticks. That will work perfect, especially for this next meal that I'm just about to have. For my first course of food for the evening, I am boiling some water over here with some ramen noodles in it. Just classic top ramen. I'm going to add these Trader Joe's dehydrated broccoli florets, which are pretty good. And the secret ingredient is this Cole's stuffed calamari. It's squid in a sardine can. Calamari stuffed with onion, rice, tomato, spices, and sea salt. I'm pretty excited to try this. Should be interesting. You're going for the classic mountain house?
Yeah, it's always a classic. Pick it up at Walmart if you want.
So,
Looks pretty good.
Do you mind sharing with us, Andy, the advice that they gave you on the outside of that package?
The advice that they put a nugget of wisdom on the back of, or on the bottom of every packet. And this one tells you, if you need toilet paper for your adventure, you should protect it and bring it along by storing the toilet paper in an empty coffee can. So,
Which, as
terrible advice from Mountain House.
As we all know, there's nothing lighter to put in your pack when you're backpacking than an empty coffee can made of steel. Jeez. Thanks a lot, Mountain House. Although I shouldn't knock them too much because I'm going to be eating Mountain House later on in this trip.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Gets a good rating?
This is good. You want to try some?
Sure. Let me get a spoon.
This is way better than last time. Last time it was crunchy.
Looks like
sit long enough. I should have brought another one of these.
Dave's coming over just in time. He heard Mountain House.
He smelled it when I opened the package.
Talking about squid?
Yeah, and we're going to be eating some squid too.
Here. You want a spoonful?
Yeah, that's first course. I'm definitely going to eat some of that. I'm going to shut this camera off. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually the first Mountain House meal I have ever eaten. That's a fact. Smells pretty good. Smells really good. That's really good. I'm not even just saying that. That is really good. Wow, the meat even
It's
rehydrated
soft,
really well.
The last time I did it, it was a little crunchy. It's like you gotta like definitely stir it up and let it sit there for a good 10 minutes.
Alrighty, Mountain House, you get the thumbs up on that one.
That was chili mac and beef.
Chili mac and beef, that was a winner. I actually took a stick, drove it into the ground, and very carefully split it down the middle so that I could put this tea light on it. That's a trick I like to use a lot in the woods. We'll see that after dark. This is going to be tricky. Surely we're going to lose some water with this procedure here. We'll have the rest of that broccoli with dinner. It's starting to get a little dark in these woods, but you can see what I have going on there. And of course, wouldn't be the same without the sodium packet. You like a little ramen with your salt, Andy?
Yeah.
I can't.
Sprinkle the packet on the dry ramen noodles and eat it.
Just chomp on it. I can't knock ramen. I know it's not the healthiest food, but it is tasty and it is cheap and it's lightweight, so it gets the nod for backpacking. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's squid. Sardine can. All right. Wow. I'm just going to open it a little bit. Just going to dive right in with my chopsticks and see what I think. Stuffed. All right. Here goes nothing. Good. That was really good. Wow. Oh, you guys got to try this.
It was really good.
Really good?
Yeah.
I wasn't lying.
I do like weird fish in a can. So it's kind of my ballpark, but
Kind of in your wheelhouse.
Let's get Dave's opinion. What do you think, man? Canned squid.
it's delicious.
As far as canned seafood goes, this is banging.
Pretty good, huh?
Meal too with the rice.
Nighttime is just about upon us here, and we're all having our first round of food. This camera battery is just about to die, so I think we're gonna chill, enjoy our food a little bit, and we will get back to you guys after it gets dark. So here's where the Wilderness Field Journal gets sappy, but I wanted to give a toast to a couple of good friends. First of all, to my departed buddy Charlie, who was a big fan of camping and hiking and going off-roading in West Virginia. Here's to you, Charlie. And definitely needed to give a cheers to our good buddy Danny, who couldn't be here tonight. He was sadly assaulted in the city. Sustained some injuries and he couldn't make it out. So here's to you, Danny. Wish you were here. And cheers to you, fellas. Yeah. Andy
Cheers.
and Dave.
You're here.
I also would be remiss without giving a toast to my wife, Meg, who hopefully you're enjoying the video we made. And she is such an amazing wife. She's understanding enough to let me take these amazing adventures in the woods. She even provided me with some of the snacks that we took. So here's to you, Meg. I love you. Another cheers I need to make is for all of you guys that watch these YouTube videos of mine. Thank you for sticking with me, and I really appreciate all the support. Cheers to you. Just chilling by the fire. Here, let me use the EMS chair here.
Seriously, need some airflow too.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it. That looks like it's gonna be
And if you hold it there for a minute, then it really catches everything. Yes. So we have Italian-style dry sausage. It's pork of some kind, a classic blend of pork with white wine and authentic Italian seasonings. Works for me. I'm going to do a half meal here. So I'm going to do half of this sausage, and I'm going to do half of this rice here. Which I'm using the broccoli bag as a cutting board right now. That is a definite rolling boil. What I believe is half a pack. And we're going to throw this salami in there, or this sausage, and the rest of this broccoli. This is my final dinner of the night. Dried sausage and rice and beans, and some dehydrated broccoli. You guys want some of this? Be more than happy to share. Yeah, here. Take a couple scoops. Alrighty, gonna chill and enjoy this dinner. Thanks again for joining us this evening. What do you guys think?
awesome.
The next thing I have in my lineup of unusual foods for this trip is powdered goat's milk. Powdered goat's milk with vitamin D. Rolling boil. That is some safe to drink creek water for sure. What's this guy doing? Also a full rolling boil. That's just dishes. We're gonna try and make this goat's milk. Smells pretty good. Let's take a look. It's like just a bunch of powder. Here goes nothing. Half of it. Supposed to mix it with warm water. This is actually pretty hot water. Hopefully that'll help it melt even better. It's starting to resemble a milk-like substance. Still a little lumpy. We'll work on it. To go along with our goat's milk, we got some desserts here if you guys want some. I have Ghirardelli dark chocolate bourbon caramels and Snickers.
Snick. Thank you.
Here, let me give you this one. That one's a little melted. How did that happen while we were walking across the blazing hot field today? Do you want a chocolate, Andy?
Sure, whatever you got.
I'm going to give you these because they're not as smushed.
Okay.
I actually was checking my little compass thermometer whistle thing on the trail today, and it was reading about 85 degrees when we were walking through those hot sunny fields. Let's take a reading right now. It's like 55 out. It's gotten colder. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Still a little chunky. Directly from a goat. I carried a goat out here with me.
Does it come out powdered like that?
Yeah,
When you milk the goat?
it's a very old goat. Some like old-timey song about that.
And then milk it.
My goat's only giving powdered milk. I think we're probably going to be calling it a night here pretty soon. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, seems that way.
Get a good night's sleep and enjoy our full day in Dolly Sods. Go back to our eating frenzy. We did some good hiking today. What, 2 miles? 2.5?
The sun was pretty brutal.
It was hot out in the sun. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. We're going to be turning in soon.